Hi Andrew. I thank you for responding again. The comments on the response to your consciousness as it is, not as it ought. I haven't quite got my head around that statement yet. I was trying to have further written comments on to the degree to which an individual can become responsible rests upon his various biological, chemical and environmental given circumstances. Obviously I can't dispute that as such, though the word given in there implies and is, as I understand it, our own accepted and allowed application of existent options of life. If the whole system was different, which is why I'm part of the equal money system proposal project was in place. It gives everybody the level playing field that the whole of your comment actually sort of accepts, isn't there? And I actually even say the playing field is not by any means fair, equal, or ought to be. Why oughtn't it to be, really? Ought, or ought to be, is not by any means fair, equal, or ought to be, etc. etc. I'm quite sure what etc. would add on the end of that, because it might be my programming with words that I sort of rear up. Well, I don't, because I don't react anymore. When I was younger, I perhaps would have reared up at that point. What the fuck are you going on about? If everything was level, like on the level, there wouldn't be such dictates, would there? Active creation of himself. Starting to say, I understand your biological, chemical and environmental given circumstances, though beyond the ingestion of nourishment, that, and then as I started to try and find words to say that is the responsibility of the nourishee, the one being nourished, started to realise that there are dictates there also, aren't there? I mean, I try and eat organic veg, and I don't eat very much meat. In fact, I call myself worse than a vegan in that I'm as concerned about the human input into the food as well as the animal input, in that if anybody's being exploited unnecessarily, I mean, even that, exploited unnecessarily, people are exploited in the workplace because of capitalism, because of the money systems, paper and metal, imagination and designed. I mean, people get along thinking they got, and you can believe me, in America, so you have the American dream to contend with. People believe they're going to rise above it. It's not possible. It's designed so you can't. I'm a son of Penny Rimbaud of Crass. He denies he's my father. I let him. Yeah, I shouldn't really make stories up, being that honesty is the way to break illusions, and there I am creating further illusions. I have to look up the word typology, but I'm assuming it means type, The playing field is not by any means for equal or ought to be, etc. What is given is a typology of the human in which people can become categorized, form, I think you might mean from each other, by the inherent limitations and the possible potentialities. I mean, the word possible potentialities, the sort of in polarities are inherent limitations. If there are possible potentialities, how can there be inherent limitations on possible potentialities? I've got potential, but I'm limited. My potential is limited by the type of human I am, and because it is not fair and equal, because it ought not to be, so I myself create myself actively due to the effects and circumstances of the environmental, chemical, biological lack of responsibility, because I'm an individual that accepts and allows the playing field to be unlevel. I'll leave it at that because I didn't really intend to make a video response to this. Like I said, I was trying to just do the comments, and I'm a bit fractured myself, and I'm recovering from, you know, I decided to just get working in a factory with a machine. If this is what it's about, I'm going getting stoned, and I did for 20 years. Stupidity in the extreme. Though the option is what you're doing, isn't it? Well, one of the options. Again, having to drop out of education because they don't like your papers. Or I was in a homeless hostel and I met another geezer that was my reflection also, although not my reflection in that he had not done what I had done, he'd done what I could have done, and I needed him. If he hadn't been there, if he hadn't been there, the rest of the staff wouldn't have been able to, they wouldn't have been able to deal with me per se. They would have been able to deal with me because I'm a reasonable, responsible human. They wouldn't have been able to assist me like he did. Wow. You know, I'm so glad that he didn't decide to get stoned like I did, and that at the moment I needed someone to be there who not necessarily understood, although I believe he possibly did, but was able to assist me as a consequence of his application of himself in life without losing his, let's call it culture at this point. Though I mean, such things I've been investigating myself seriously, and I haven't reached the realisation holistically, let's say. I still have much work to do. I mean, wow, I'll show you my blogs if you want. Send you the links if you're interested. I'm not suggesting you are. I mean, if you want to show me yours. I currently don't have time to look at them, although at some point I would be interested, because I can see, I like your style. That first video I saw yours, I instantly liked your style. Then when I started looking at you a little closer, I'm like, wow. And then I'm firing, and you're inspiring me and stuff, and wow. And then you're sort of inspiring me into directions that I don't necessarily need to go in, and I don't necessarily want to go in, though you're sort of tempting me into realities that I've already rejected, so I won't be tempted, though nevertheless the implication is there perhaps. Thank you.